You've probably heard of athletes talk about being in the zone. You hear them say things like, oh, I got into the zone and that's when I started to score all the points. You got to get your mind in the zone. Athletes have known this for a very long time. Being in the zone means getting into a flow state. And this means it's like a specific period of time where your brain just has no irrelevant thought and you merge into the task that you're doing. This means that whilst you do a certain task, you're not thinking about memories from from high school. You're not thinking about irrelevant thoughts and a to-do list of what you're going to do after this. You're literally so immersed into the activity that you almost merge into it yourself. And as we discover in this guide, which this is going to make you feel really enlightened, this is the peak human experience. When you learn how to consistently get into a flow state, you're going to realize that this was the secret to happiness all along. A flow state lasts anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours. I hope that you're not one of the people whose flow states is like very short because you just can't get that much done. But there's a bunch of things that I'm going to teach you to prolong how long you can get into the flow state for inside of this guide. This is very similar to the concept of deep work by the author Cal Newport. Deep work is more like the habits around your work. You don't get distracted. You don't switch tasks. Flow state is the specific block where you literally have no thought and we're narrowing in on this one specific task. So it's kind of like the next level of deep work. How many people do you speak to who aren't even present when you speak to them? How many times have you spoke to your mother and you can see that her brain's just mind wandering? Your friends, and they've got their phones in their hand, and you see their eyesight gloss down when they start typing away whilst you talk to them. It's like most people are honestly like socially disabled these days. Like they genuinely, honestly, it feels like most people have got special needs when you speak to them. It really does, right? Their brain, especially young people, their brain just like goes, like they start twitching and doing like some TikTok dance out of nowhere. It's just strange when you speak to someone because they're not in a flow state, because their mind's wandering. And honestly, you're probably one of these people. We look outward and we see the problem of the modern times with young people being, like ADHD symptoms, everyone's attention span's so bad. We're looking outward when we are part of that group. And so when your mother's telling you a story of like her childhood, she actually feels like you're listening to her. And when your friend is opening up to you and you're actually in a flow state listening to him and you're not thinking of something irrelevant, you're not waiting to jump in with something you're saying, and he's able to express, that he's going through a hard time, you being in a flow state might have just saved his life. And when you do meet the nice, beautiful, feminine woman that you want to partner up with, she's going to feel this at your most intimate moments. And this will make your love blossom with her. The major benefit of flow states is happiness. It's seen as the peak human experience by psychologists because this is a moment when our mind just stops talking.
You liked this video, so go and watch the full guide because it took me weeks to make and it will genuinely change your life. It's popped up as a card. Go click on that right now. It's also a link in the description. Go click on that right now.